Right now, the air is pressing against you. Almost 15 pounds on every square inch of your skin. You don't feel it, because you were built inside it. Every cell of you shaped by a lifetime spent under this exact invisible weight. You've never known anything else, but what if that weight kept climbing? What if it doubled, then doubled again, then kept going until it was hundreds of times heavier than anything your body has ever felt? That's not a thought experiment. That's just the ocean. And the strange truth is, the deep ocean would not kill you the way you imagine. Picture the fall. You slip off the edge of a boat far out at sea, where the water beneath you drops for miles. At first, nothing. Warm water. Sunlight above you. Gold and shifting. This is the part of the ocean you know. It's called the sunlight zone, and it reaches down only about 650 feet. A thin skin on the surface of something immense. Then you keep sinking. By 200 feet, the color begins to drain out of the world. Red disappears first, then orange, then yellow. The light thins into a cold, endless blue, and somewhere around 3,000 feet, it goes out completely. Not dim. Gone. A darkness so total that your eyes, no matter how long you wait, will never adjust to it. There is nothing here for them to catch. Have you ever been somewhere with no light at all? Not a distant glow, not the faintest star, nothing. Almost no human ever has. Down here, that is the permanent condition of most of the planet. And yet the dark is not entirely empty. Every so often, something flickers. A pulse. A thread of cold blue fire drifting past. It's living light, made by creatures that gave up on the sun long ago and learned to carry their own. It's the only light most of the ocean has ever known. But the darkness isn't what's dangerous. The pressure is. Here's the thing almost nobody explains correctly. You've heard that the deep ocean would crush you like a soda can. That isn't quite true, and the reason why is stranger than the myth. Your body is mostly water, and water doesn't compress. Squeeze it as hard as you like, and it barely changes at all. So the solid, liquid parts of you, your muscles, your blood, your bones, don't get flattened. They just hold. What gets crushed is the air. Every place inside you that holds a pocket of gas becomes a weakness. Your lungs, your sinuses, the tiny space behind your eardrums. As you descend, the pressure squeezes those hollow spaces smaller and smaller, and there is nothing to push back. By 100 feet down, the pressure is already 4 times what you feel at the surface, and your lungs have been folded to 1/4 of their size. Your eardrums bend inward and, without warning, tear. The first real pain of the deep isn't the crushing of your whole body. It's the collapse of every empty space you never knew you were carrying. And then it turns strange in a way that feels almost unfair. The very gases keeping you alive begin to turn against you. Under enough pressure, the nitrogen you breathe every single day dissolves into your blood, reaches your brain, and makes you drunk. Divers call it the rapture of the deep. It feels like calm, like everything is fine. People have pulled the breathing gear from their own mouths at depth, smiling, certain they no longer needed it. And oxygen, the one thing you cannot live without, becomes a poison under pressure, twisting your body into convulsions. The deep takes the exact chemistry that keeps you alive up here, and quietly flips it into something that kills you. So how deep can a human actually go and come back? Not far. Not far at all. The deepest anyone has ever scuba dived is a little over 1,000 feet, and it nearly ended him. Below that, the human body simply runs out of tricks. And yet, the average depth of the ocean is more than 12,000 feet. Its deepest point plunges to nearly 36,000. Deeper than Mount Everest is tall. At the very bottom, the pressure is more than 1,000 times what you feel right now. 16,000 pounds bearing down on every square inch. A weight so absolute, it would force water into corners of your body that were never meant to hold it. But let's be honest. you'd be gone long before then. Most people would. And here is a thought that should unsettle you more than it does. We have mapped the surface of the moon in sharper detail than we have mapped the floor of our own ocean. More people have walked on the moon than have descended to the deepest point of the sea. The place you just fell into is, in a very real sense, the least explored country on Earth, closer to you than anything in the sky, and yet almost entirely unknown. You would be sinking into a world no complete map exists for, toward a bottom no one can fully describe. How is it possible that the strangest place we know of sits directly beneath the boats we sail across every single day? Now something quieter takes over. The cold. Below the reach of the sun, the ocean settles to just a few degrees above freezing, and it stays there, everywhere on Earth, always. No warmth ever finds it. Your body, which fights so hard every second to hold its heat, loses that fight in minutes. The warmth drains out of you and into water that has been waiting in the dark for thousands of years to take it. And then, slowly, you become part of the deep. This is the part almost no one thinks about. You would not simply vanish. The deep ocean is not a void. It's the largest living space on the entire planet, and it wastes nothing. Pale, blind, ancient scavengers, creatures that have never once seen the sun, would find you within hours, drawn by the rarest thing in their world, a body. A sudden gift of energy fallen from a place they will never know exists. To them, you are not a tragedy. You are a feast. Have you ever considered that the thing you fear most about the deep is exactly what the deep has been waiting for? Sink past a certain point, and even the water turns against your bones. It is so cold, so pressurized, so starved for the minerals locked inside you, that given enough time, the hard framework holding you together begins to dissolve back into the sea. Nothing is buried in the deep ocean. Everything, eventually, is absorbed. And here is what makes all of this so unsettling. This place, dark and freezing and crushing and alive, is not some distant corner of the world. It is the world. Most of Earth, by sheer volume, is deep ocean. The warm, bright, breathable sliver you live in is the exception. The rarity. The thin glowing edge of something vast and black that wraps almost the whole planet and has almost nothing to do with you. You think of the surface as the world, and the deep as the mystery. The ocean would tell you it's the other way around. So what really happens if a human falls into the deep ocean? The honest answer is that you never truly reach it. The pressure, the cold, the endless dark, they take you long before the real depths even begin. The deep doesn't have to fight you. It simply is what it is, and you were never built to be there. Right now, the air is pressing against you. Almost 15 pounds on every square inch of your skin. And maybe, for the first time, you feel it. Not as a weight, but as a gift. The one perfect pressure, out of 1,000 possible pressures, that lets something as fragile as you stand here, breathing, in the light,